Kemi's heart raced as she realized he was doing something terrible. She decided to investigate further. The next day, Kemi quietly checked the records of the patients who had lost their babies. She found something shocking. The names of the mothers and details about the newborns were marked with strange symbols that she didn't understand. In the quiet town of Iludun, everyone knew and respected Dr. Kayode Adebanjo. He was a kind-hearted doctor who built Hope Maternity Clinic to serve the people. The hospital was a blessing to many families who could not afford the high costs of city hospitals. Dr. Kayode helped mothers deliver their babies safely and treated everyone with love and care. People trusted him deeply and felt safe knowing he was in charge. One day, news came that Dr. Kayode was being transferred to a big hospital in Abuja. The town was sad to see him leave but proud of him, as it meant he would help even more people. The government assigned a new doctor to Hope Maternity Clinic. His name was Dr. Musa Garuba. He seemed polite and calm, and the people believed he would take care of the hospital just like Dr. Kayode did. At first, Dr. Musa acted like a normal doctor. He greeted everyone with a serious face and did his job quietly. The people thought he was just a serious man, and they did not mind because they trusted the clinic. Soon, however, strange things began to happen. Some women who came to deliver their babies were told their babies didn't make it. They left the hospital broken-hearted, but they never questioned Dr. Musa because they believed he was as trustworthy as Dr. Kayode. One day, a young woman named Zainab went to Hope Maternity Clinic to give birth. Her mother, Mama Zainab, was there with her, waiting anxiously to meet her grandchild. Hours passed, and finally, Dr. Musa came out with a grave expression on his face. He told Mama Zainab that Zainab's baby didn't survive. Mama Zainab was devastated and clung to her daughter, who was heartbroken. They left the clinic in tears, trusting Dr. Musa's words, even though something felt wrong. More women continued to lose their babies at Hope Maternity Clinic. It became so common that the people of Iludun started whispering about it. They wondered why so many babies were not surviving, especially since this never happened when Dr. Kayode was in charge. However, they were afraid to speak up because Dr. Musa was the only doctor in town, and they did not want to lose the hospital. Kemi, a young nurse at the hospital, began to feel uneasy. She had worked under Dr. Kayode and knew that something strange was happening. She noticed that Dr. Musa was very secretive, especially when it came to handling newborns. He would take the babies to a special room and not allow anyone else inside. Kemi was curious but afraid to ask questions. One night, Kemi decided to stay late at the hospital to watch Dr. Musa's movements. She hid in the shadows as he took a newborn into the special room. After a while, she saw Dr. Musa leave the room with a small cooler in his hand, looking around cautiously before leaving the clinic. Kemi's heart raced as she realized he was doing something terrible. She decided to investigate further. The next day, Kemi quietly checked the records of the patients who had lost their babies. She found something shocking. The names of the mothers and details about the newborns were marked with strange symbols that she didn't understand. It looked like someone had tried to hide the real information about these babies. Kemi was scared but knew she had to find out the truth. Meanwhile, Dr. Musa continued to assure mothers that their babies had not survived. He acted as if he was just doing his job, but in reality, he was hiding a dark secret. Dr. Musa was part of a powerful syndicate that harvested the organs of newborns and sold them for ritual purposes. The syndicate paid him a lot of money, and he had no remorse for the pain he caused these mothers. Kemi finally gathered enough courage to confront Dr. Musa. She asked him why so many babies were not surviving under his care. Dr. Musa's face turned cold, and he warned her to stay out of his business if she wanted to keep her job. Kemi felt threatened but refused to give up. She knew she had to protect the mothers and babies of Iludun. As days passed, more and more families began to grow suspicious. Mama Zainab, who was still mourning the loss of her grandchild, began to hear rumors about Dr. Musa's strange behavior. She decided to investigate herself and asked other mothers if they also felt something was wrong. They all agreed that Dr. Musa's actions were suspicious and that they wanted answers. One evening, Mama Zainab and a few other women went to the hospital to demand the truth from Dr. Musa. He laughed and told them they were being foolish. He said that childbirth was risky and that not all babies survive. The mothers felt humiliated but left with a heavy feeling that they were being lied to. Kemi knew the only way to stop Dr. Musa was to find solid evidence. She decided to place a hidden camera in the special room where he took the babies. One night, she secretly installed the camera and waited for him to come in. The next day, she checked the footage and was horrified by what she saw. The video showed Dr. Musa taking a newborn baby and performing a procedure to remove the organs. He then placed the organs in a cooler and left the hospital. Kemi couldn't believe her eyes. She realized that Dr. Musa was harvesting the baby's organs and lying to the mothers about their deaths. She knew she had to expose him, but it would be dangerous. Kemi shared her discovery with Mama Zainab, who was furious and heartbroken. They decided to gather the mothers who had lost their babies and show them the evidence. The mothers were devastated and outraged. They agreed to confront Dr. Musa and demand justice for their children. The following day, the mothers, along with Kemi, stormed into the hospital and confronted Dr. Musa. They accused him of lying to them and demanded to know what he did with their babies. Dr. Musa tried to deny it, but Kemi showed him the footage. Realizing he had been caught, Dr. Musa tried to escape, but the mothers blocked his way. The police were called, and Dr. Musa was arrested. He confessed to being part of a syndicate that harvested organs for money. The people of Iludun were shocked and heartbroken. They could not believe that a place they trusted with their lives had become a place of horror. Dr. Musa's arrest made national news, and people all over the country heard about the terrible things he had done. Hope Maternity Clinic was closed down, and the government promised to bring justice to the families affected. Dr. Kayode, upon hearing the news, was devastated. He never imagined that his beloved clinic would turn into a nightmare. The mothers of Iludun finally had some closure, but the pain of losing their babies never left them. Kemi became a hero in the community, and the people were grateful for her bravery. She had risked everything to uncover the truth, and because of her, Dr. Musa could no longer harm anyone. The people of Iludun learned a hard lesson about trust and the danger of blind faith. They vowed never to let anyone deceive them again and to always seek the truth, no matter how painful it might be.